I first noticed it while lying in bed. A small gurgle, like the sound of a fish tank filter, coming from somewhere inside my stomach. I pressed my hand against my abdomen, feeling for any movement. There it was again, a subtle bubbling sensation beneath my fingertips. That was 3 weeks ago. The doctors said it was just gas, maybe stress-induced IBS. They gave me pills that did nothing. The bubbling has gotten worse since then, louder, more persistent. Sometimes I swear I can feel something moving. Tonight, as I lie awake at 3 a.m., I can't ignore it anymore. The bubbling has become a constant companion, a roommate I never asked for. I press my ear against my stomach, listening to what sounds like a pot of water about to boil over. My girlfriend left last week. Said she couldn't sleep with the constant noise. I told her she was being ridiculous, that it wasn't that loud, but deep down I knew she was right. The bubbling was getting louder every day. I dragged myself to the bathroom, flicking on the harsh fluorescent light. My reflection looks back at me, hollow-eyed and gaunt. I lift my shirt. My stomach looks normal, but when I press against it, I feel movement beneath the skin. Something shifting, adjusting to my touch. I grab my phone and call the emergency health line. Maybe they can get me in for an emergency scan. Something is wrong.
Emergency health line, how can I help you?
Her voice sounds tired, bored even. I wonder how many panic calls she gets in the middle of the night.
Hi, I need to see a doctor immediately. There's something inside me.
Can you describe your symptoms, sir?
There's a bubbling sensation in my stomach. It's been getting worse for weeks. I can hear it. I can feel it moving.
Have you experienced any vomiting, diarrhea, or blood in your stool?
No, nothing like that. Just the bubbling. It's constant now. I can't sleep. I can't work. I can barely think.
It sounds like you might be experiencing severe gas or acid reflux. Have you tried over-the-counter medications?
Yes, I've tried everything. This isn't gas. This is something else. Something is inside me.
I hear her sigh on the other end of the line. She thinks I'm crazy. Maybe I am.
I can book you an appointment with a gastroenterologist, but the earliest available slot is next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday? That's 6 days from now. I need help now.
I'm sorry, sir, but unless you're experiencing severe pain or bleeding, this isn't considered an emergency. Would you like me to book that appointment?
I hang up without answering. What's the point? By Tuesday, whatever's inside me might have grown too large to remove. I place my hand on my stomach again. The bubbling seems to respond to my touch, intensifying beneath my palm. I decide to record it. Maybe if I have evidence, someone will take me seriously. I grab my phone and open the voice recorder app, pressing it against my bare stomach. After a minute, I play it back. The recording captures the bubbling clearly, a wet, gurgling sound. But there's something else too. Something I didn't hear with my own ears. A faint whisper beneath the bubbling. Words I can't quite make out. I play it again, turning the volume all the way up. There it is. A voice, barely audible, saying something that sounds like, "Let me out." My phone slips from my trembling hands, clattering to the bathroom floor. This can't be real. I must be hallucinating from lack of sleep. I splash cold water on my face and stare at my reflection again. My skin looks pale, almost translucent in the harsh light. I decide to try one more thing before completely losing my mind. I grab a stethoscope I bought years ago for a Halloween costume and press it against different areas of my stomach. The bubbling is loudest near my navel. I listen intently, trying to filter out the sound of my own racing heartbeat. There it is again. Not just bubbling, but a rhythmic pattern, almost like Morse code. I grab a pen and paper and start to transcribe what I'm hearing. ... SOS. Over and over again, I drop the stethoscope like it's burned me. This is impossible. I need help. Professional help. I throw on some clothes and drive myself to the emergency room, the bubbling growing more frantic with each passing minute. The waiting room is nearly empty when I arrive. Just a few people with obvious injuries, a man with a bandaged hand, a woman holding an ice pack to her forehead. I approach the reception desk, trying to keep my voice steady.
I need to see a doctor immediately. There's something inside my stomach, something alive.
Fill out these forms and take a seat. A nurse will be with you shortly.
You don't understand, this is serious. Listen.
I lift my shirt and press my stomach against the counter separating us. Her eyes widen slightly as the bubbling becomes audible in the quiet room.
Sir, please take a seat. I'll make sure a doctor sees you as soon as possible.
I wait for 3 hours. The bubbling grows more insistent, more demanding. I can feel it spreading, moving from my stomach up toward my chest. When the nurse finally calls my name, I nearly collapse with relief.
The doctor will see you now. Follow me.
She leads me to an examination room and takes my vitals. Her eyebrows raise when she places the stethoscope on my chest.
How long has this been happening?
About 3 weeks, but it's gotten much worse in the last few days.
And you've had no other symptoms, no pain?
No pain, just the bubbling, and I think there's something alive in there.
She gives me a look I can't quite interpret. Concern mixed with skepticism. She makes some notes on her tablet and leaves, promising the doctor will be in shortly. Another hour passes. The bubbling has reached my throat now. I can taste something metallic, like copper pennies. When the doctor finally enters, I'm hunched over, struggling to breathe normally.
I understand you're experiencing some unusual symptoms?
Listen to my stomach, please.
He places his stethoscope against my abdomen, his expression neutral. Then his eyes widen.
How long did you say this has been happening?
3 weeks. It started small, but now it's everywhere. I recorded it. There's a voice. It's saying, "Let me out."
I show him the recording. He listens, his face growing pale.
I'm going to order some tests. X-ray first, then possibly a CT scan.
You believe me?
Let's just say I want to rule some things out.
The X-ray technician looks confused when she sees the results. She takes another set, then a third. Each time, her expression grows more concerned. Finally, the doctor returns with the images.
I've never seen anything like this before.
He holds up the X-ray to the light. Where my stomach and intestines should be, there's a strange, cloudy mass. It looks almost like static on an old television.
We need to do an emergency exploratory surgery. Whatever this is, it's not normal.
Surgery? Now?
Yes. I've already called in a surgical team. We need to see what's happening inside you.
Everything moves quickly after that. I'm prepped for surgery, an IV inserted into my arm. As they wheel me toward the operating room, the bubbling reaches a fever pitch. I can feel it in my mouth now, like carbonation rising up my throat.
Wait, I think something's happening.
The last thing I remember before the anesthesia takes hold is the look of horror on the nurse's face as something dark and viscous spills from my lips. I wake up in a different room. Not a recovery room, more like a containment unit. The walls are bare, the door has no handle on the inside, and there's a large observation window where I can see people in hazmat suits watching me. The bubbling is gone. My stomach feels hollow, empty. I try to sit up, but I'm restrained. A speaker crackles to life.
Can you hear me?
What happened? What did you find?
We didn't perform the surgery. There was no need after what happened in the hallway.
What are you talking about? What happened?
You don't remember. You expelled a substance from your mouth. A black liquid that moved on its own. It tried to enter one of the nurses through her mouth. We had to contain it.
My blood runs cold. I have no memory of this.
Where is it now, the liquid?
We've contained it, but we need to understand what it is and where it came from. Do you have any idea how this started?
I think back to 3 weeks ago. What was different? What changed? Then I remember. The water. The strange taste in my tap water one morning. I had thought nothing of it at the time.
My water, there was something wrong with my water 3 weeks ago. It tasted alive.
We've sent a team to your apartment to test your water supply. In the meantime, we need to run some tests on you. The substance left residue in your digestive tract.
Am I going to be okay?
There's a long pause before he answers.
We don't know yet. Whatever was inside you appears to have been communicating. The bubbling pattern you recorded matches a known binary code. We're still deciphering it.
What did it say, the parts you've decoded?
It's repeating the same phrase over and over. First host complete, preparing network expansion.
A chill runs through me.
What does that mean?
We think you were being used as an incubator, a breeding ground, and now that it's been expelled from your body...
It's looking for more hosts.
Yes. And the concerning part is that we found traces of the same substance in the city's water reservoir. We're implementing a citywide water ban, but
why?
But we think it may already be too late. Reports are coming in from all over the city, people complaining of strange bubbling sensations in their stomachs.
As if on cue, I hear it, faint at first, then growing louder, bubbling. Not from inside me this time, but from the observation room. I watch in horror as one of the scientists doubles over, black liquid spilling from his mouth onto the floor. The liquid moves with purpose, sliding under the door of my room. I struggle against my restraints as it approaches my bed, rising up like a snake about to strike. It hovers near my face, forming what looks almost like a mouth. And then I hear it, not with my ears but inside my mind. Thank you for being our first. You were the perfect incubator. Now we need you for something else. The liquid forces its way into my mouth. I try to scream, but no sound comes out. As darkness overtakes me, I realize with horror that the bubbling inside me was never the problem. It was just the beginning.